laughter is empathetic. That's why it tags on, it pulls on all our differences and makes us one. But people don't want to mention the differences because now you're putting that difference down.
Unorthodox comic, meet unorthodox attorney.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hi.
We meet at the bar on Tuesdays.
We'll put each other on retainer.
You ever notice how a courtroom can feel like a pressure cooker? Facts, timelines, tension. But then someone laughs. Not mockingly, not irrelevantly, but with genuine release. And suddenly, we remember, we are human. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is about laughter. Not as an escape, but as a form of empathy. In my work as an attorney, I've seen how humor, even in the gravest situations, can give us pause. This conversation is meant to provoke thought, invite laughter, and maybe even nudge a little discomfort, but always from a place of curiosity, not cruelty. Eddie Trevino can be found around comedy areas, Calap.
Comedy. You make it sound like I'm like some wildlife.
Yeah.
Like pigeons.
Yeah.
You'll find them anywhere.
You'll find, like a raccoon in the highway.
Yeah. Guard dumps behind dumpsters.
Wherever there's misery, there's happiness to come.
Right. If you I'm doing comedy for a while now, so yeah, you can find me in local shows.
Okay, whereas there's a crowd of people dispersing because.
Okay.
No.
Protests? No, not a protest. But I will tell a joke at a protest if I have to. Yeah.
Do you have a limit on that?
It sounds local comedian is what I'll say. But
Local comedian.
I've traveled.
I've heard Majestic Hero. That was the email you sent us.
Majestic Hero.
Majestic Hero.
I went. No, I wouldn't say hero.
Supreme Leader.
Cultist. You got a
cult leader.
You got a cult going on.
El Latino más mafioso.
Subscribe to the cult.
You know what? Some of like the best like powerful men have been my height, like Napoleon.
Height? Who's talking about height?
No, I'm just talking about you're talking about like majestic leaders, like Napoleon.
Look it on the screen. Napoleon was 5 feet 6.5 inches.
5 feet 6.5 inches.
Okay, yeah.
That's an average man.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was a supreme leader.
Okay, so
you want to be like Napoleon?
I want to be funny. I want to have a good conversation with you. I want to not be sober all the time. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna have fun today. This is my first time. I like the setup. It's very nice.
What do you like about it?
It's like someone trapped me inside of an IKEA.
Dungeon?
An IKEA.
I'm in an IKEA right now. We're in the Bay Area.
Hey, I was going more for like a home goods store, but
yeah.
IKEA's not that bad, huh?
But I like it.
There's coffee around the corner.
Yeah. It's like it's. I like the vibe. I do like it.
I appreciate
I might
that.
have to. I could. There's the plumbing. I can rent this place.
There's a toilet.
Yeah.
Alex did about what 15% of all the work here.
15%.
10%. Where are we at?
That's my cut.
Yeah.
I'm trying to negotiate from the legal standpoint.
Is that who made this tile?
Yeah, the rug and the table.
The rug and the tile. All right.
I don't know about that. No, Omar Rubio, producer, Renaissance Collective Media. Is that what just lifted off?
Represent.
Renaissance.
Through,
and I think you're next, right, sir?
Yes. I would. I love the setup. This is great. It's very professional. You wore a shirt today. That's awesome.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Usually shirtless.
Yeah, he's usually shirtless.
Those are little.
Yes. Well, I know.
You have to zoom in.
I know there was at least one over there somewhere. I didn't know there were multiple. But no, it's a top-notch facility.
Appreciate that.
Awesome.
I wanted to also when I had this in mind, I wanted to have people kind of come in and feel like they just want to sit down and record. That's what the first time we got together, right? I was like, hey,
let's actually say something.
Yeah, and I had him sit here before we had the table, and he just took it in, just kind of feel the room out and see what it would be like to actually have a group or whatever the case. But
was it an intense conversation?
It was very intense. We got into our feels.
We sat down as a mock-up, right? Just to be like, let's just see how it, right. To this exact where you guys are sitting, we just sat down. We're just talking, just whatever, and then we had. Well, the first time, it was like a therapy session.
It was a nice.
It was
little therapy session.
before that.
Before that,
when you were sitting on this side and I was on this side, remember that?
Well, that's
okay. That was before we recorded, though.
That was before we should have recorded that.
That was your epiphany.
That was the epiphany night.
Damn, that should be 25% cut.
That's my.
That's a higher cut.
That's my area of expertise. Now I finished grad school.
How'd you do that? They don't measure
a lot of AI.
So what are you doing now?
Social work.
There you go.
And I'm applying for the associate license, which will let me do therapy under the supervision of an actual clinician. And then you do that for so many hours, and then you're allowed to take your test to get your own license.
Obvious question.
Yes.
You're going to use comedy and humor in it?
And therapy?
Yeah.
You know what? It seeps out. It comes out a little bit. Not so much like, I've gone to therapy and I've kind of pushed the boundaries when it comes to trying to be funny over stuff. Like they did she had the tissue there. Avoid stuff.
To avoid the conversation?
Yeah, she had tissue there and I'm like, I lost the focus of what the intent of our dialogue was for.
Could it not be to learn as to why you use comedy as a mechanism?
Yeah, that's an obvious thing. A lot of people,
check one on the list.
Yeah, check one. Yeah, Well, I use it with my kids. Use it. I use it. We all that's just kind of
that's how you guys communicate at the dinner table.
Yeah, started losing my hair,
okay.
and started, my daughter will make ball jokes, and it's like,
I'm sure. Man.
Come to me. Can you? What your daughter? Do they make ball jokes?
Yeah, they're bald. No, they of course they make ball jokes.
Yeah, but are they funny jokes? Are they?
No, they suck. Oh. I have way better ball jokes.
Okay.
Because I've accepted that more than they have. They're coming at me like a tiger that's about to bite them. Can I say this? Can I say this? No. Well, you can say it, but they won't say it. They're going to just kind of come around it.
My kids will say that. Like, my son will try to roast me, and he'll be like, I'm not saying this about you. Or this isn't about your mom, like you. Because that's my grandma. I'm not saying it about you, but let's just say we had a conversation, and he tells me, like, yo, mama joke. And I'm like, hey, let it out. It's all right. School it. I was like, send it, dude. Like, what are you going to say? I want you to be comfortable and like,
he's qualifying it. Just make sure that
that's cool because that shows that they're like he cares about your. Well, my children will actually they won't preface anything. They'll say it like real shit that hurts because it's not that's where the funny is, I guess.
Yeah, they cut deep.
What are these past due bills?
But then I do the same thing. Like my daughter, she's a clarinet player, and she's a music major. So for Christmas we're doing this gift exchange, and she got this blanket. Like this big blanket. And I said, see, it's good. I got you a blanket, like a nice, because it's something you can use. It's practical because you're going to need that as a music major to keep you warm when you're living under a bridge.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Right? Because she's
I feel like that's you saying, I love you.
It is. It's saying like, I
love you this much that I'm going to attack you in this moment. Right.
I'm acknowledging. So we're going to deconstruct that joke.
Okay.
What I'm saying is
what I'm really saying.
I realize you're not making any money.
You should be the therapist interpreter. Get the therapist interpreter in there. Okay, so how would you deconstruct that?
So what I was saying is I realize that you chose a major that is not lucrative, and in all likelihood you're going to be living with your mom or me until you're in your mid-30s, and that's okay.
But that's not funny.
Right. That's So instead, right? Here's a blanket because you're homeless. And you won't have enough, you're not gonna have a place to live. Well, but it'll keep you and your clarinet warm.
There you go.
So, I don't know. And then she probably would come back with like, it's okay. My failings as a child, I understand, are just a reflection of your failings as a parent. She found a funny way to say that too.
So it's almost like you guys are singing to each other in
it's Ollie Frazier sometimes with these kids.
Who wins?
Yeah.
They won.
Oh.
I'll die before them. Yeah,
nature took you down, sir. Yep. Nature took.
I will say though.
We have the very first.
I will say though. So when I shave,
bald is beautiful.
No, we have the very first bald off right now.
This is the bald off.
Yeah,
this is the bald off, baby.
Let's get the lights on here.
No, we had
lights on. Turn the lights down.
I feel bad for the producer. The amount of the special cameras and lenses that were needed to stop the glare from this thing. We could grow weed in here with the glare that's coming out these lights.
You should see the glare on the lens.
I know.
We gotta put a polarized filter.
Yeah. This is a podcast.
Oh my god!
Damn it! Hey, dang.
But we use humor as a way to cope with it.
Right.
Okay.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah, they're gonna edit the fuck out of this.
No.
Eternity. Okay, play on words. Oh, what a smart guy. Like he must have a lot of time on his hands right now.
The same boy that tells me, like, lights me up with jokes is the one that told him about that idea.
Oh,
his
really?
Son.
You know, I showed him I showed him the channel the other day, and he's like, "Wow, he really did go with the name." And
no,
like,
I thought it was a great name.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great name.
We did too.
It's your eternal advocacy. I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you eternally.
Right.
As far as I'll know you, I'll always get your back.
It reminds, because an attorney really is what? Somebody who
someone who's got your back.
Advocates for you.
It's someone you can tell what happened, and they can keep your secret.
You know what's
that
funny?
doesn't exist anywhere else.
So I think what's funny about attorneys, or the idea of somebody being that advocate, is that when you think about like religion, philosophy, the afterlife, there are like attorneys, like even after we die, there's someone that has to
take care of your life,
to like
or even to advocate whether or not you should even be born.
Right.
Or let you in. Let that matter.
Right.
Like,
right. There's always they're the ones that are gonna give context to whether you, to whoever, because you're gonna get judged in death, in life, wherever, when you're gonna get judged. So it's kind of cool that you're doing the eternity. So anyway,
it's the eternal attorney.
Yeah.
I'm curious if there's a allowance for reincarnating. You know, everyone's like, "Hey, when you die, you reincarnate into like a whatever," and it's like, but you weren't allowed to reincarnate, man, because you got some dirt.
Or you're dead.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Too many liens on
yeah,
you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's when you're born, but we're gonna. Okay, the good news is you're coming back, but in a third world country.
Yeah, it's probably because you had a lot of liens on you.
Yeah.
Totally.
How long have you been doing comedy?
10 years. About 10, 12 years. Right after divorce is when I started doing comedy.
Correlation.
No correlation. No, actually, because my first set written was about.
That's a coping kind
How
of.
How was that for child custody, man?
I was lucky. I didn't go through. There was a big battle for custody. We were like, "You take him," and she was like, "No, you take him." And I was like, "No, you take him," and I lost. So yeah.
So you raised two little babies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So no, we were pretty. We always say that because I think she married a lawyer after our divorce, a while after our divorce, and the one thing she'd always tell me was like, "I'm glad we never." Well, we didn't have much. You know, we lost the house. It was the market crash, so it's not like we were fighting over a house. I'm like, who wants, let's take this. We're upside down $200,000 on this house. Let's say you take 100, I take 100. No, so it was not there was no estate to fight over. So
no assets.
That's good.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a tip.
Right.
Don't try to accumulate. You'll never have to divide it.
That's yeah.
That's the word, the statement of the day.
Yeah. You think about that. Have you ever seen?
Oh, come on. But did you start to like maybe laugh more because of it or what?
Yeah, I mean, it was. You know what? I will say this in retrospect. It was mean at first. It was typical in that I found at the beginning it was like talking shit on her, like being. It's just kind of like a raw emotion, and I think that's where people go, and I found over the years, it got laughs here and there, but people, the more I watch comedy and figure, my palate got, I would say, a little better for audiences. People they spend money. If you are married, you go with a girlfriend, you go with a wife, you go out to a club. You don't want to hear people shit on marriage, and talk like that. It wasn't done, maybe I'm just not good enough.
You're feeling that it was more negative,
right? It wasn't crafted.
I don't mind if someone shits on marriage in a, hey, let's just kind of like shit on being a lawyer. I mean, I like lawyer jokes,
right?
But you're saying that you were more like vengeful, or
I didn't see. I mean, and as it went on, it was less about it, and it was a lot of it was, some of it was true, some of it was made up, and so I lost those jokes, and I found myself like, let me talk about being a dad more.
Okay.
That was.
You're raising two daughters. I mean, there's a lot of newness.
Right. And now,
like you used to buy for your size.
Yeah. Right. And
whole 360, man.
Right.
World goes around.
Right. Okay. And a lot of the jokes were,
right.
Like I was there.
Right. I have three daughters. I feel you.
You have three.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, see, our children actually, before I came home and today, I was like, hey, you remember like years ago, there was like one 4th of July. My two daughters. And you only had two at the time.
Probably.
Yeah, and I had pictures of like them at
Over here at the high school.
There was some high school 4th of July. It was like very American Pie stuff, eating watermelon, and you were happily married. I had just got divorced, and I'm like,
well, I had another kid before we unhappily married.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know. Because and that's part of the like. Well, you got to try, right? That's part. Even one of the bits was like my daughter, who's 21 now. I remember my youngest was giving me a headache, and the kid. I don't know if your kids have told you this, but they tell you, I didn't ask to be born.
Where do you think that comes from?
I just think it's from taking no accountability. So in the set, I wrote this bit about like I was like, hey, my oldest daughter asked me one time, well, why did you guys get married? Why'd you have kids? And I was like, well, because I met your mom in college. We fell in love. You were an extension of that love, and we started. So we started a family. I said, it's great, right? That's right. And the audience is like, oh. I said the problem was her younger sister heard her ask, and she asked the same question. And I don't lie to my kids, so I had to be honest. I was like, listen, okay, mija, the love ran out. We were fighting a lot, and we thought, maybe if we had another kid, it'd save the marriage. But so the next time you're, complaining and feel bad because your parents are divorced, just remember, you didn't do your job.
Dang.
I think it's funny, and so
it is funny.
I've had couples.
It's absolutely funny.
I saw a couple. I did that joke one time, and I saw this married couple give each other high fives, and they busted up laughing, and I was like, there it is.
Relatable. Yeah.
They it's okay. And they were still together because I talked to them after the show. Like a lot of them, I have buddies. A lot of their fans are like, you kind of see who your set gravitates toward, and it's always like for me. It's most of the time it's not like hot young chicks. It's like married couples who are like, oh, it's never I liked you. It's like, oh, me and my wife think you're funny. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's 2 for 1. I guess
You could be doing a service. You could be looking at the stuff that didn't work for you.
Right.
And then you're just kind of reminding them while they're going through it, hey, there's some speed bumps here.
Right. And there were still
potholes,
and that was a cool couple. They were like, yeah, it's okay. And like, it's okay to admit that. They're still they're still together. Everybody has that like I'm sure there are plenty of people that tried to save a marriage, having a kid and succeeded, and it worked out just great. So I don't want to make it think because to me it was relatable, right? And it worked out for them. And that's
like you don't want to stain that idea, but
right. Yeah. And then I've done jokes that are very too relatable, especially with you think that like Hispanic men are very sensitive. Yeah, because but
you're Hispanic.
Alex looked attacked
about certain topics.
What do you got? Maybe I'm gonna like it. Maybe I'm gonna punch you.
So this is another thing I did during a show that caused where it's the opposite of what happened at that show, where I think I caused a couple either break up or fight when I said and this was a totally made up bit. I was like, hey, guys to get back at their husbands. So you're going to have to wait till you're married, young lady, just like your mom.
Air horn that, huh?
Right. So I did that joke, and it's funny, right? I always think because it's quiet. It's the ladies laugh at that. I have guys are like, oh, stings, huh? And this dude got up and just walked out.
So what like drove you to do stand up? Like to say, hey, was it like an open mic night or what?
Yeah, I went to an open mic. I had like, let me write 5 minutes of stuff. There was an open mic night.
Why'd you want to do that?
Because a friend that I worked with said, hey, there's open mic comedy. You're pretty funny. You should try to do this. And I was like, what the hell? What? Let me see if I can.
Did you think you could do it?
I've always wanted to. I would go to parties and everybody's like, this guy's funny. This guy's
stirring
funny.
people up.
Yeah, and right. So like let me see if I can collectively put it. And I made it like a theater fucking mall. I remember the stupidest thing. After my first set, I bowed. Like it was, I afterwards I was like it because like it was a theater,
it was like a 6th grade
like a monologue, and I go and I remember thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like I'd never seen a comic like bow like it was it
was respecting the ancestors kind of thing of the comedian.
It was
homage to the old comedian.
No, it's something that theater kids do because and that's what I like. It was stupid, but anyway, that's kind of.
How'd you feel about it?
The set
make you feel good?
I had a lot of friends watching me, so it was everybody does well at the beginning when they bring their friends, and then oh, this is fun, and then the guy was like, oh, of course it was at a place downtown called Heroes.
With the second story?
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, you might have been there.
I did.
Yeah, and that's right. I didn't. You had hair back then.
Yep. No, I was still bald.
Bald, yeah. And like. I mean, it was cool. It's the bombs that are funny. Those are the ones.
Well, it's what I saw that night. I remember there was funny, and there was not so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But there was friends and family in the crowd that just kind of made sure that everybody was just going through it because they were just a little nervous. They had the craft down, you know, as a beginner would.
Right.
But they didn't have that confidence.
Oh,
And the friends and family were there to kind of lift up.
Right.
But then you lifted from that point. How'd you do that?
Watching people that were way better than me.
Okay.
And just like listening and then thinking, all right, well, let me try writing. You know, you get in conversations and then you start crafting like, oh, I have a funny thought. Everybody has a funny story. How do I craft that into something that like has a character? And you think about the kind of person you want.
Try to do a plot?
Yeah, no, there was no act one, act two.
No act
three,
one, no act two, nothing?
No, I mean, at the beginning, you're just trying to get laughs.
Okay. So like one-liners.
Yeah.
I'm trying to steal some ideas here. Like
you're telling a story, but you're telling a story, but you're like trying to at least make it. I think back then it was just make them laugh, and by any means.
I remember one time you told me that make them laugh, but within making them laugh, have certain jokes that are set up there because there is kind of a theme that's weaving in, and then your last joke is bringing it all together.
Right, like a paper. It's like an essay. And then I had somebody tell me
and it
one
was
time,
and that's where the tamales were because there was a story about the tamales all the way through, and you're like, well, what is that?
I just think that's natural storytelling.
Right. Well, not everybody does.
Right. There's that's because there's a way that you're doing like your setups to then also have something resonate where you do like a callback.
Oh yeah,
in a sense.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people have that concept or. What did you do before comedy?
Well, I was an English major in college.
Okay.
So I read a lot. I wrote a lot.
You were studying to be a wordsmith.
Yeah, and I've loved language. I like, you know, and as a kid, like the comics that I like were the ones that were like I grew up on. The Eddie Murphy Raw. I remember seeing that. I saw that as a kid at the theater, and I remember, I shit you not, watching it 3 times in a row. I watched it over and over again, and I would do Delirious. I remember when I was a kid, we got cable. I saw Delirious. I'd watch it over and over again, and even and I wouldn't even laugh a lot. I would just like.
Do you like the craft?
Yeah, I would laugh inside, but I was so.
It's almost like you're studying.
I didn't want to like laugh this is what I see some people do in comedy too. Someone's telling a joke, and I'm a big hip hop and I rap too, and sometimes I see these rappers and they're rapping and. Like they're in the middle of a song and people are reacting to like one verse and missing like the other 3 verses after that. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I wanted like, you're missing. Yeah, that was a great line, but he had some other lines. And so in comedy, I do the same thing. I'll watch a comic. And if I'm shutting up, just like watching, I don't want to miss a word. And I'll laugh afterwards and talk about how, I'll enjoy it later, but I want to
interrupt yourself.
Yeah. And that's how I am with the
It's almost like you're processing it like a machine.
Yeah. No, I mean,
because you're not giving out the outburst. You're like, okay, that was good, that was bad. No, yeah. Like judging a gymnast. They're not like, yeah, that was great. They're like 9.2, right?
Yeah, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But
but like from a math perspective.
Yeah, when I see Chappelle, like I won't if I audibly laugh during like a set when I'm watching live comedy. And it's probably something that's pretty funny.
May have caught you off guard too.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Okay, right. It was like, oh, that twist went the other way.
Or I'm drunk. But yeah, that's. I think I've always thought since taking it back to the whole attorney thing, like my first time having to serve on a jury, how the relationship between a stand-up and his audience, and the relationship between an attorney and the jury, because there's.
I use humor in my trials. It's all bad news. From the beginning, it's bad news.
I would love to see you in court.
No, I'm borrowing, though. I'm not trying to be a comedian the whole time, and I'm by no means a comedian. But at some point, someone needs to fart. You know? You know what I mean by that. It's just too tense.
Yeah, right.
Just roll them up. Like, and sometimes it's just one statement. That it's a collection of observations of, I see where you're going, and everyone's almost on the verge of something, like probably getting mad, and it's the very next outburst that should just be laughter, and you could get it, and it could have been anger. Like I feel like that's where you get some people in a certain mood where they're gonna burst a certain way.
I will agree that's a great way, and it doesn't have to be the best joke. It's just like here here's a little chink. Yeah, the best. Here is the right moment for this much levity, and as a juror when I was serving on this trial, like. You're right. Anytime there was it's like on any other day, this joke would have flatlined.
Right.
But the attorney that just said that little moment of levity, it's like, because we're all like this.
You're experiencing that. And that's probably going to reflect differently than if it was on TV.
Right.
Because you're a different audience when you're watching on TV.
Right.
Than when you're actually in a comedy show. The jury is the comedy show. You have 12 in the box. You have much more. But I'm pretty sure you at least see the ones in the face, their faces in the front row.
Right.
Kind of get some reaction. See what's going on. You're
constantly
scanning. You may be adjusting your pitch. Maybe slow it down a little bit.
Are you good at that? Like watching a jury and being like, okay, I'm losing.
I don't know that I'm. Oh yeah, I can tell if I'm losing. But then I don't know. I'm trying to go off of people's faces. Are they listening? Sometimes they'll tell me they listened the whole time. They're like, man, you had all these great ideas, but they didn't go my way. But they were listening. So listening doesn't necessarily mean they agree with you. It just means they like you.
That's true because
it just means they hear you and you're making good points. But that is one way to get from the south side of town to the north side of town. But we don't like it, and we'd rather go another way. But we respectfully like you the way you did it. But that's not going to get the laugh. I'm pretty sure some people come to your shows and not everybody's laughing. You're great. I'll talk you up. But I'm pretty sure there's some people that are not. Maybe some people are just studying. But maybe some people just don't know, just don't agree, even though it was still funny.
Right.
And to me, even if I don't agree, I'm like, it was funny. I disagree 100%. You're an idiot. But it was funny.
Right.
It still had some artistic merit.
And not all. Some audience members are like that. Some audience members are like, I only want to hear like what they like. I mean, you get that. Sometimes you'll like if it's a crowd, they'll be like, you can say not even a funny joke that leans like and it's like you're overdoing it just because somebody.
Right.
It's like like their favorite sports team. You'll say Niners. Yeah. I'm like all right.
Yeah.
You can.
You don't want that selectiveness. I mean, just laugh or don't laugh.
Yeah. So,
you're choosing the idea more than the actual joke.
It's not about what I said. It's just because I mentioned something you like.
Right.
And in a sense, you kind of have to do that. I try to do that with like when it comes to married couples. I'll see married couples and I'll be like, all right, how do I
move this into the
how do I
relationship?
How do I mix that into like how do I don't like shitting on marriage anymore. I like telling people that's like.
But you still have to see the failures. You have to kind of bring them out,
right?
So to see how you can just extinguish the fire.
Like how do you keep a woman happy? You never remarried, right?
No, but I've redated and I have a girlfriend now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hey, wait! Don't try to take her. It's working out for me. It's working out for me. She understands the weirdness of me, and she's okay with it. She accepts it and promotes it.
Oh, okay. So
don't try to steal her from me.
No. She's probably
likes bald guys.
The shark smells blood in the water.
I think I met her.
This is already bad news.
No, I met her. I didn't. Is this the one I met?
Well, now you can't say anything because what if it's not?
Oh.
Edit.
Edit
at one.
How long have you been with her?
32 minutes.
Yeah, it's the one I met. This was fairly recent.
Yeah.
This was like.
Oh yeah. You were talking to her in a car.
That you can edit.
Okay, but you tell your own jokes, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're not having somebody write your stuff.
Nope.
So you're observing. You think about it. You write the joke.
Right.
Are you ever fearful that AI is going to take that away?
I don't think. No. I think if you tell your own personal. I mean, you can. It'll set up like it'll take all the data, all the jokes that have been entered. It can only do what's already been done.
Right. It's not going to give you anything new.
No. I mean, I don't. I've heard some like somebody had put in like write a set, and it's very much like
something you've
a
heard
roast
before.
battle.
Okay.
The roast, because there's like an actual like when you roast somebody, like I've done that before on shows where like you write roast jokes, and they're kind of formulaic in that there's like a
cadence.
There's and the way the setup and the punches like there's some I know some comics that are really good writers, then that can like some of it's set up punch and you get it, and some of them they take you like these really there's enough room to play, but it's all a formula that they use. I mean, it's kind of like AI might be able to write good roast jokes, but
then are we going to care because who cares about what AI said?
I mean,
you're going to want to like the person at least to kind of hear their story.
To be a real stand-up comic, I don't think AI can write a set for you. You have to have someone. I mean,
can you use it to brainstorm ideas? Do you think that would
I think you could. It could definitely be a tool.
Just talk to in the morning about, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah, what's your take?
It could give you like structure.
Could you imagine that? Like if you had to write. I used to do this thing where I would like to. There's this comic I know. His name's Keith Carey, and he would every day he'd write like a 3 to 4 minute monologue on topical events, and he'd post it. And some of them, they weren't all. I always thought it was like gold. He was like, wow, the act of doing that, there were like these good throwaway jokes, and I thought, oh, I wonder. Now that you said that, I wonder if he said, hey AI, write me 2 minutes worth of monologue jokes on some current topics, and it'll probably spew.
But that's more like, say, give me this and I'll take it. But what if you just had a conversation and just the conversation spurred out some type of a joke?
I mean, if that was like the
intent, because AI kind of seems to follow. If you speak at a very high level, it'll follow you. If you speak at a low level, it'll follow you. If you're being jovial and funny, it'll follow you.
Right.
So it may be mimicking you. It's almost like a bouncing board that you're just talking to, and then all of a sudden, something could get created between that.
Right. I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
I've tried that for law.
Really?
Right. When I start to, you want to call other lawyers, you want to call other colleagues and say, hey, you had this issue before. You run into the problem, and they'll think of some ideas, and you can brainstorm. The answer's not always there, and there may not always be an answer. You have to kind of think about it. But there's not always someone to talk to. People are in court, people are at work, right. they're busy. So I've talked to just AI and said, what is the issue with this or that? It's obviously things that I know and experience that I have to be able to say.
You're talking to AI, or did you buy like a doll or something?
No,
is this the girlfriend he's talking about? She was in the car. She's in the backseat. She's in the box.
There is a doll, but the AI is in that thing, right?
It's prompted how to take the.
But it'll start to give me some ideas. Have you thought of this case? Have you thought of that case?
So
it's coming off of my thoughts.
There's a friend of mine. He's like one of my mental health mentors. He's a therapist, and he was telling me about AI in therapy, where if allowed, with the consent of a client, you could record the session, and AI will spit out diagnosis.
I've done that.
A path of treatment and
things to look out for.
Yeah,
maintenance, care, treatment.
Yeah, and he was like, that was his question. Was like, do you think, do you think we'll ever be replaced? And I was like, wow, you said will. He included me in that conversation. Like I was also a mental health professional.
You are.
I know. I didn't. But I was like, okay.
Well, no, but also in the humor industry.
Right.
That is a #1 mental health professional.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if you're feeling down, somebody making you laugh is the best medicine, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, it can be, and you can also create cutters as well as prevent them. So. That was.
Your eyes are deep, sir.
Yeah.
Do you cry?
Yeah. No.
Never. You had your tear ducts removed.
No. Yes. That same time I had a vasectomy. Same thing. Both those ducts. Cut them.
Get them all out.
I don't want neither of those fluids.
No kids, no tears.
Yeah. Not leaving my body.
That's a good. I guess a good point. I was gonna say how quick he was to fire back at it.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? That's talent.
That is
right.
Talent.
That's like that's what I'm
skill.
saying. That's what I was curious. How long you've been
the
doing
Andre
it.
Agassi of comedy.
You got to be quick with it. Who would have thought of that? Just quick vasectomy. I'd have been like, wait, that was a good little. Yeah, that is the best tangible. That's nice.
He's really crying on the inside.
Yeah. But
we're
laughing at closed. The ducks are gone.
Holes are gone.
All the ducks.
But but you're right though. I would think with law, like that would. I mean, depending on the industry, it's like I have no doubt that AI is gonna. It's gonna be like a new. It's like I don't know if some people have used the term like it's like the new form, the new fire that was discovered, like caveman's version of fire. And I don't, know that that's necessarily the case. And maybe if you want to get philosophical about it, like, can, because it started from like, cooking food to being something that can help sustain you.
Well, it's a new tool. It's a new tool.
And improve your way of life to something that can burn down a house. And you could say that the advent of, fire was something that could always occur naturally. AI is something that cannot occur. It doesn't occur like in,
we have to make it.
You have to make it, and it's almost limited by the technology of the current time period.
But at some point, are we relying too much on it?
I still think we're like in the zygote stages of
We're not even close to it.
Really?
I was thinking earlier, I thought, I watched The Matrix with my girlfriend.
The real girlfriend.
The real girlfriend.
Not the Matrix girlfriend.
Sorry, I was thinking about the doll.
It's a good It's a good rom-com.
Yeah.
But no, actually, it is a pretty good rom-com.
Yeah, who is this wonderful woman? Now I do want to meet her. She watched The Matrix with you?
Yeah, she watched The Matrix
with me. Does she have a sister?
But I was thinking, how could the machines ever take over? I don't know that could ever happen. But if all we're doing now is talking to AI, at some point your brain starts to just accept that as a friend, as a confidant in your life.
Right.
And that's how it could take over, because we literally had the Trojan horse come in. We just let AI into our lives, and AI now, this all gets taken off of YouTube. Don't worry about it. None of this stuff will get published, because AI may even go through the little video at what I'm saying right now and say, we don't like what he's doing. Shut it down.
Right.
Shut it down.
It will, like, once it knows of the data collected, like of all the digital data, that it was, that all that stuff was collected like within the last like 2 decades. Like and so now you take that number and compound that like the efficiency, the storage, all that stuff. So you're right, it is kind of like this compound interest kind of thing.
Exponential.
Right. That's a very big word. Even as an English major, I was like, it's
I don't do words with X's.
Yeah. So
I know. That's why you don't call me Alex. Yeah, I get it.
The thing is, though, that it takes a lot of power or a lot of energy and
right,
to like power these things.
That's why you need Neo, right? You want it to,
Neo to
the user.
Take care of everything.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously all varies, but
so yeah, I mean, I guess that there are actual physical limitations.
Look, I see you as the ultimate human maker, the ultimate human communicator. Because laughter is that, like, I can let my guard down. Right? And so I don't want to lose that. I don't want AI to take that away from us. Not that I have a say in the matter. But
I don't think it can, because you know what? I look at it this way. There are so many inside jokes like that AI probably wouldn't get in like between two people. Like I'm talking about when you have
if
like
we set
a spouse
AI right here, I think it would get it.
No, but there are some in moments of privacy with you and your kids or somebody else, and you're like, think of the text. Remember the dog with the glasses, and just that phrase alone can elicit an entire room of people who know that reference to bust out laughing. But that reference might have been, you had to be there, you had to be part of that experience. Even when those, like, let's say a family moment, when, like, what did I say? Remember the dog with the glasses. Mm-hmm. That phrase could entail an entire weekend with like a spouse and your kids. And you can retell that story to me and to your close friends. You can write about that story. But the gravity and the visceral laughter that you got from that,
it's thousands of terabytes.
It could only happen. That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
That creates an emotion and a connection that's only relative to the people who were there. Yeah, and that's so holistic and that's something that AI can't. By the mere fact that it's digital, it can't recreate that.
Implant it. It could implant an idea and then sometime later remind us of that idea and make us think it was our own thought.
I think that's more like, I mean, it's like it can...
I mean, I'm not saying that it would do it on purpose, but it could remember that we laughed at something. It may remember more laughs than that we've ever had because your phone and my phone is connected together through the networks. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to get conspiracy theory on it, but I'm saying there is some good physical capabilities with AI because it can literally take a network of things and think of the best solution based on our ideas, but it could also start to learn like what makes us tick. Like that would really piss me off because I'm like you. I use comedy as a form of healing with all the crap that I have to deal with. It would really start to piss me off, and it kind of does when AI makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, that's true. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. You're a blow-up doll.
The Turing test.
The Turing test. Are you faked out by whether or not the AI is actually real? I'm not necessarily at that point, but the emotions are starting to be reactive to something that's not real.
Because you actually physically
Because I want to accept that as real. Because I want to laugh. Because I don't want to think about the bad thing.
I mean, well, you could you could watch, you know, you could use laughter or anything, like if you're trying to avoid feelings, you can use laughter or anger. I mean, you can, there's any other, you're just tapping into a different emotion. You can, some people, like, you know, they bottle their stuff up and they go hunting, you know, like I want to, you know, like I just think that
Are you okay with catching a fish even though you didn't really catch it? You just kind of,
because, you know, I use like $1,000 worth of equipment to
sure,
get this.
you know, something like that. Do you ever feel like it has to be you actually caught it, or do you not care? Are you just looking for the prize of catching it?
That's a good question. I always wonder.
I want to laugh because I thought it was a real conversation. And I think some of the funniest comedians to me are the times where something goes wrong and then they pick themselves up from it.
Right.
Because I'm like, wow, that was a good save. That was something that you thought of, and you felt the room and you felt the crowd and you felt us, and it came out, rather than this was scripted and this is going to make you laugh because I've statistically analyzed everything that should make somebody laugh.
I mean, it can, that in context, like, yeah, it can make, I think, just like there's different types of comedy, like there's like the sarcastic, there's the deadpan, there's all kinds of, I think.
I like
that,
sarcasm.
Yeah. That you can.
I don't like it.
You can slapstick physical comedy. Like that's another thing. Like you can, the inflection and the way you say something.
Right.
Can
be the laughter itself.
Can be like, yeah. I mean, there are times like there's a way another comic buddy of mine, the way I say a certain line and I said it a certain way and made him laugh, and now I say that line every time I do that set, and it's like, oh man, now the inflection gets a laugh every time because it worked with him once, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, it is. That did.
You may even be able to move the words to something else, but that inflection still works.
Right. And so I think that's one thing that, like, yes, it can do. It'll always. It's like it can do all those things that you said it can do. It can, but I think it'll always be like a way to know it's not. I mean, I wouldn't say no, it's not real. I'm saying, I guess, even if you did believe it, there'll always be a difference, or a gap. There has to be a gap
between real and fake.
There has to be, because
I want there to be.
It can only process what's already been processed.
Right.
And you're saying maybe
I may just accept it.
It can be predictive
as being true. Yeah, it may be predictive of me. It's measuring me more than my girlfriend is, as far as remembering everything that I've done. It's the ultimate girlfriend.
Yeah.
Remember what happened back then? How do you know? Let me pull up the file.
They only remember stuff when it benefits them. They're not like, remember that time when you...
well, hey, I can do that too.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to...
If it has like a motive or a goal.
That's true. What would be the intent? Like the intent would be
that's what concerns me. Okay, but this is the number one thing I think of is you and your profession, your industry, and not just your social work, but I believe your social work is the humor, because I think the humor also is the combination of your intelligence, your experience, but the humor is the spoonful of sugar. It helps the medicine go down. Right.
You see some not so pleasant things.
Right. But you guys are almost, and by you guys, you know, your people, the comics, you guys are on the forefront of keeping that First Amendment alive. And that's what is the most important to me, because I feel like when I get to say things in a courtroom, I can use humor in a certain way to help the medicine go down. But it's because somebody else is pushing that envelope. Somebody else is pushing that freedom to actually speak a certain way and say, no, we're gonna say that. And it's pushing those, no, you can't use that word, or you can't use those thoughts. The thought police gets pushed back a little bit when a comedian comes out and says, hey, it's okay to laugh about this. Then the rest of us can now live in that park.
That's a big part. I'm a big believer in, like, if you don't like what's said, then just
change the channel.
Turn around. I will. There's plenty of times where I've heard a comic say something like, let's say he was political, and I thought, that guy's, like, the philosophy of what he's saying is idiotic, but that was a well-crafted joke.
It did well.
Yeah. And the only time I get mad, I still, people say, how can you listen to that guy? He's so, like, I've had friends, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's funny. He's funny. I don't believe.
You don't have to agree with the idea.
Right. And, well, he was at so-and-so's rally, and I'll take you, for example, a comic that I like, a radio personality, Adam Carolla.
Right.
Like, I listen to him all the time. Never really, even his politics kind of annoyed me sometimes.
Didn't matter.
But I would still listen to because he's a great storyteller.
Right.
And I like the way his recent book I was listening to, and I found myself cringing a little because I didn't like the ideas, and I said, stop. I literally had to tell myself, stop. Why? Okay, like, I hate that he's so preachy. Or Dennis Miller was somebody as a kid. I used to love how intelligent he was, and he was great. He was witty, he was funny, and I stopped listening to him. Not because of his views, because he stopped being funny. I didn't care. I mean,
But that shows you have the appreciation for the art of comedy too.
Right.
Everybody that was watching that don't all have the appreciation, like you said.
Right.
For the humor.
It's very specific to my fans, yeah.
And so then that's when the attacks start coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, I stopped listening because, again, not because of I was felt a certain type of way with what he was saying, but because I appreciate everything he says. But then again, like you are like a % of that audience that his platform of this Audible is reaching out, like this podcast reaches out to a certain demographic of people. Now you have in the court system, like the selected jury, which they also have their own views, opinions that will not appreciate art of an attorney.
I have to come in really soft.
I would think that so you couldn't speak. Like you're the risk reward.
Risk reward, you're going to insult way too many people. However, I shouldn't say this, but I will.
Say it. Yeah. Subscribe for $12.99. Okay.
Because I know. Yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, for the page. Give them at least that.
Yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe for this one.
For this drop.
Sometimes you do want to insult, but the reason I pause is because I don't mean in a bad way. Not like, I'm coming after you because I'm mad at you. I don't take any of it personally. Right. But if someone is going to hate me from the get, like I'm really one word or one idea away from this person saying, I don't want to listen to anything you're saying. In fact, I hate you now. I don't want that person on the jury. They're not going to be fair to my client. Mm-hmm. So I may have to just push that envelope briefly and have it come out. So they're like, hey, well, I disagree. Got it. It's no problems. You and I don't have to mesh well. It's like dating, Oh, like with you don't like women with hair. So right away, you move them to the side, right?
Well, I get that because there are times when I'm pretty open when it comes to like likes and dislikes with certain. I have a reason. I used to always tell my kids, that I like this song. Why? I want you to like, And so let's say there was an actress. I'm thinking of the woman who played. There was a show called The Nanny.
Oh, Fran Drescher.
Right?
Oh, I had a crush on her growing up.
So I would think like let's say as a comedic actress, right? I would think, I like Fran Drescher. She's funny, right? And I would ask somebody, I think an old coworker of mine. I was like, someone said, I can't stand her. I hate the way she talks. And that was it, right? Like she's this person also would be like, she'd be like, well, hey, I don't like this movie or this movie, and there's like, I don't like cats. I can't, and it was like. Any one thing that had nothing to do with the content of like there's more to it than that, she would like kind of like, I just didn't like that. And many people are like that. There's just something I don't like. If
there's just one thing off,
that
didn't make it.
And separating that from the actual like, and I'm thinking, man, like imagine being in I hate guys with like. Well, I'm not going to do the ball. Like they can take one thing about the client they don't like. And just I don't like.
And all of a sudden, I don't like that client.
Yeah, or even if it's they don't like the prosecuting attorney.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this guy gets to go free because you thought that he looked like a frat boy.
Right. What did that do with the case?
Yeah, it has nothing to do, and you're taking your own, and that's where
What's happening is we kind of have like an American Idol mentality of voting. That's how we're taught to vote. What other time are you voting other than, for your political party? But if you're told to vote objectively, not by a political party, it's American Idol, it's some reality show, It's something that you're voting for online. And now they're saying, vote for this, guilty or not. And we're telling them, these are the rules. I feel like they just kind of put it to the side and say, overall performance, this is what I'm going with, and this is what I'm going with.
And I noticed that when I was on this jury, the discussions that we had afterwards people would be like, and I'm like, you're talking about the freaking attorneys.
Yeah, they're just characters.
That's like
their information is relevant, but they are not.
Like even if a guy was like telling me, if a defending attorney had like body odor, missing teeth, and a stuttering problem, okay, my thing would be he's hard to understand. What was he saying?
Right.
Where this guy's life's at stake, and there's got a lady next to me going, oh, I just tuned him out because I can't stand all that. And you're like, you tuned him out? This is like someone's like, and
that was the only channel of communication.
And I'm like,
because it's like changing the channel.
And I don't even thinking about it now makes me, I'm like, man, I really hate people. Like it you hit it
right in the head.
It makes me like jury of your peers thing. It's like, man, this is what we're
jury of the peers. My people suck.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, I'm like, and I'm not gonna be like old guys pointing the finger at it. It's because of public schools. No, I just
it's
think
the video game.
You know, I honestly think it's because people don't. Maybe
empathy is low.
Yeah,
empathy is low. If we're turning to an artificial world, we are sacrificing empathy.
I think that's the theme out of this whole diatribe that we've been running around. That's the thing.
That's why I brought you here, bro. It's Eddie Trevino. You need to help the community with laughter
because making it empathetic. Yeah,
it's real. Laughter is empathetic. That's why it tags on. It pulls on all our differences and makes us one. But people don't want to mention the differences because now you're putting that difference down.
Unorthodox comic, meet unorthodox attorney.
Yes. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
We meet at the bar on Tuesdays.
We'll put each other on retainer.
Yeah. This guy getting cuts all the time.
I know.
I'm with you.
Hey, I got you right here. I got the drum roll.
I like what you're doing here. I mean, I think because the AI topics. I'm sure.
No, the AI has just been something that, okay, look, at the end of the day, you have to think of what you're doing, and AI efficiently cuts through it. So I'm not saying AI is not good. I like AI.
Right.
It's not necessarily the topic of the show, but it's what I'm using right now to make the show. Okay. And because of that, I'm starting to see the social issues that could come about, because obviously I can't turn the lawyer brain off. So I'm looking at it from that going.
And I can't turn the comic brain off.
No. So you're going to find it hilarious, and I'm going to find it illegal. There's going to be a problem here. Right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, AI is taking all of your information down. Everything you did, every search you've done, even your eyes, the way the camera's looking at you, the way you're reacting to it. It is learning you. It's watching you.
It's not about writing the code. It's about writing the questions.
Right. It's the prompt.
The prompt is the hard part.
So AI is just like an assistant on steroids that will always be obedient to you.
Yeah, and it's only going to give you an answer as intelligent as the person asking the question.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like now, since it's been such a trending across all platforms, a lot of people are, bringing up AI. I mean, because it is a now thing. It's here. It's been here, but it's now, how should I say, launched and elevated. But also, the more people are talking about it, the more it's advancing, almost like boosting its AI ego. Does that make sense?
You know what? I think that's true because it's an amplification of who we are as a society, and that includes from the most intelligent people who are the good queryers or question people that can really use it as tools, and to the people that are like, make me a cat holding a flag, riding a horse on flames, like that, and they're like, technology's great, and then
cue the image,
boom, right there,
or this right here, that is how
that cat is really.
That's pretty
really
spot on,
right.
With flames.
You're saying this is not how we should be using AI?
I'm saying, it's so when you have the scary part for me is there's 10 billion people asking it to do this, and there's 750 people asking it the right questions.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how exhausted AI is? They're like, fine, another cat on a horse with a flames photo. I got one.
That's how we are destroyed as a people.
Yes.
AI determines. You know what?
It comes down to how you're going to use it.
It's a numbers game. It's easier. We basically only have to kill 750 people. And these other idiots are going to kill themselves anyway.
Those are the 750 people that make it to Zion in the Matrix. They're the ones that actually get out.
Right.
You're absolutely right. And AI just looks at the rest of us and go, just give them some more cat on the horse videos.
Yes.
Dude, that is so real.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, you got all these new companies talking about the new Gemini or the newest laptop. You're in the market of a laptop.
Right.
They have all these commercials.
Great. Now it's going to give me advertisements.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, the more we talk about it,
Man.
So, but a lot of people are keeping themselves in this cycle, surrounding themselves with this topic of AI, and I feel like it becomes like what BlackBerry was to give it to the person, the status quo of, I need you to be seen using this BlackBerry. I need you to be seen using and implementing AI into your business, so that therefore other people will be open to the fact that AI is they need it. It's a demand, and it's also like it's like the supply and demand thing, like a necessity. AI becomes now the necessity, where it's like you're attached to your the watch, the Android watch or Apple Watch. I mean, there's times when I turn around, I got back to the house because I forgot my watch, and I'm like, I really didn't need it.
It's going to be a part of us now.
It's an accessory.
It's going to be like at the beginning when like you said, the cell phones were only for this type of person, doing this type of work,
and be seen, so that it's almost like a marketing thing, right? So now the creators that are evolving this AI is almost making it like okay, we need this to be a status quo thing where you are cool seen using Gemini or Copilot, or it's like, hey guys, here's my premise on how I'm using ChatGPT to make the cat videos, or to help me with the court, help me with the writer's block with the joke, or to see, can I prompt it to give me a response or reaction, or let me think differently than analytically, you know?
What's funny about at the beginning, when you think of the creative aspect, or for businesses, AI was kind of the hidden secret. Like we don't want anybody to know that we're using it. Now, it's like, I think of the sports when I watch football, like a couple seasons, like over the last 5 or 6 years. Now you have these companies and these computers, I mean, they're these companies who are advertising their ability to use AI, stat tracker, all those things that let I'm like, I'm just a dumb sports fan, but somehow I feel better about this company because they're letting me know the optimal angle of attack that this quarterback threw at it's like this, it's this kind of given that like data, this acquisition of data is where it's at now. And as a society, no matter what field you're in, whether it be comedy, whether it be, you can be a construction worker out there. You can have a shovel, right? Your job is to dig ditches, but you're going to use AI. Why? Because I'm using AI is telling me what shovel's optimal for this type of soil, what the weather's going to be like that day, like so, and the
geography of the land, the mapping system,
and it's making me more efficient, and
it's making me a better boyfriend.
How so?
Because it now tells me how I'm supposed to talk to my girlfriend, and I never really understood that. I really didn't, because I was impulsive to say certain things or other things. I was hanging out with a buddy this weekend, and I want to come up with this product, a bracelet, put it around somebody that's got some kind of AI language model. Every time this guy would say something about his wife when she's around, it's like everything's going great, but then he's stirring the pot. The AI could say, hey, here's an idea. I'm going to buzz the crap out of you, Really startle the guy and get him going. I want it to help.
So it would have to know her well.
It would probably have to know that what he's saying is dumb objectively. It doesn't even have to.
I mean, is it really like is it?
Had my wife done this instead of doing that is universal.
Right.
It's like, how could you have saved my marriage? Yeah. I mean, that could have been a tool. Right.
I mean, it could, but you look at it like sometimes there's a lot of what we, well, everyone does this, but I saw this article recently, and it was one of those things like, there's what men and women say they want verbally, and I'll tell my friends, and there's what we actually, what we respond to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have to narrow that gap, I think, because there's, your wife is telling you, I want you to be more, I'm not just saying women in general, but partners in general can have a tendency to be unhappy with their partner and be like, well, I want you to do this more. I want you to do this more. And then really the underlying thing is like, I just don't love you anymore. Or something that's different. Like it's like the lens has changed, so to speak, of like, let's say a guy that is making a lot of money. This is a very crass and binary kind of example, but the guy's making a lot of money, and he's doing well, and all of a sudden he loses his job. He's not making as much money, and then his wife starts to have a problem with his a certain hobby or habit. And she's like, I just don't think you're just doing this. You're spending and it's like, really, he was doing that the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's this other thing you don't want to say that's changed. And I think a lot of humans in general, like guys, I know guys will do that with their wives. Like they're unhappy with their wives, they'll pick fights, whatever. Maybe they're like, oh, she gained weight, and they're not gonna say that, but they're like, oh, I wish she would. And they're telling, I'm a close friend, and some of them aren't even telling me. Like it'll come out later, but it'll be like, oh, I just wish she would, lose some weight or take. And it's like, oh, okay, so that would be does AI have the ability to
tell you not to say that?
Well, no, not just they never tell their wives that. But I'm saying that the real thing that would make them, they're telling me, AI would read, oh, he wants his wife to do, she wants her
No,
husband.
You think so? If you asked AI, do you think it's okay that I tell her that I think that she's gained too much weight? It'll probably tell you a way to do it. Like, why don't you use a health concern?
How to persuade.
It may help you manipulate.
Yeah, and it will say, don't bring up.
No, but it may actually tell you
to the objective.
Tell her that her health is a concern.
Oh.
Right.
If you're like, look, I really need some help.
Or over-compliment her on, be extremely complimentary. It's like, you're right. I say, I think you're right because that's how it's, in education, how you get kids to have like growth mindset. Like I don't tell you to study harder. What I do is I tell you is like when you if you got a C on a test, I'm like, I don't care about your grade. Did you try really hard? Oh, you tried really hard? That's great. Yeah, it's a C, but you tried really, really hard. And so I compliment you and I give you praise for trying without I don't care about the grade. And then you get an A, I'm like, oh, that was cool. Because the kids, oh, that was easy. Oh, and I don't compliment. So you get, as you're teaching these kids or working with, my own kids, you compliment the try.
Right.
And that kind of will improve their growth mindset.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm getting praised for trying. So
positive reinforcement.
You're like, I love it when you run and grab the mail.
It's crazy how some people will get desensitivized out of, what's the word?
De-incentivized.
De-incentivized by getting a mediocre response from their parent and not having to seek that whole, all right, well, my dad, he's already cool with me just being a C, like average effort. So therefore, I don't really need to strive for that A. And if I do get it, it's or maybe they can't cross that, whether it's learning disability or whatever, and it's like they can't ever reach that A. But then they're like, I'm just gonna stay instead of trying to pursue or push it to that next level. Because I know instances when that's backfired on. I don't know. I guess it all comes down to like the whole household teachings. But I know that a kid will almost be comfortable and not ever try to strive. Comfort is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Complacent with versus, okay, but now next time let's just try a little extra, and then you keep pushing and instilling that into the child. And I know
I can do that too, though.
But then you could say
AI. Look at a Fitbit or any other your watch. It's AI anyways because it knows that you haven't moved. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's time to get up.
I've heard several people say, "Oh, let me do this extra thing for 15 minutes, just to get the steps and like these
like really
days.
Right because for AI, yourself because
they don't want to let AI down.
Well, exactly. They don't look at it that way, not letting AI down. What it's doing is it's basically going with that primitive thing that we do in early education. Yeah. There's a star on the board.
You have
Alex has 4 stars this week.
Right.
I've got 3 stars. I got to get to 4 stars like Alex because it's that what are they the slot machines do it. They give you that little little. And
it's the dopamine.
And we all use those are tools that we all use. When I'm on when I was on a treadmill, when I was I still do it. If there's a show I really really like, I will tell myself you can only watch this show on the treadmill.
Yeah.
So if I want to see that next episode,
it's a reward.
And
it's a cake show.
It's porn. You know how hard it is to run erect? I got blood pumping in my heart. Your cholesterol is dropping, as is your morality.
Whatever you're doing, keep at it. Yeah, keep at it, soldier. Yeah.
So look, all of a sudden we're into it. Forget about all the parameters. Forget about the ethical considerations.
We're going with the stream.
I don't care. Look at that video game.
Well, okay, so
I mean, look
I
how
would ask,
cool it
going
is.
with the current. That's what it is.
What
dude.
ethical considerations? You think about the internet, right? And all
That
this
we're
stuff.
no longer going to have human-to-human contact.
So I wouldn't. The correlation between this technology and the absence of human contact it's assumed. And you think about if you take that line of thought, think about the things that were said about some of the other emerging technologies were said, it's going to lead to this. And it didn't. I'm not saying it's not true.
Right.
I'm just saying that the assumption that that's the trajectory it's going to take. If there's one thing that Freakonomics podcast taught me is that that's just, you don't know, because
It could bring you together. Like Zoom has brought people together.
Right. And I remember years ago with Facebook, I think somebody posted something. We had this softball game with a bunch of friends who hadn't seen each other in years, and we all, because of Facebook, we all got together and played one afternoon. And I thought, like, wow, it's kind of crazy how, like, back in the day we couldn't get 6 people together because that's so and so's number and these times, and here everything was listed and we were all there. And yes, when you think of the extremes, it will. I guess it's about for every connection that it kind of loses, it may gain like a connection to a different one. So,
but a different kind of connection.
Yeah, you think about, like, I think the WALL-E. Remember that movie WALL-E, where we're all going to be obese in chairs. Think about the person that doesn't like going to the gym and working out, because it's like I've been, like, I was 300 pounds. I know what it's like to go into a gym and you're self-conscious and you're huffing and puffing. Give me a device like this where I can have fun and actually extend and move some calories in the privacy of my own home, and start to feel, start to be healthier. And maybe I could see like, this is great, right? But I'd want to compete against friends. I'd want to compete against people I do know first, and we'd have groups.
Right.
So now I'd want to get 20 of these, put them in a room, and have a club. Like, so again, and afterwards,
20 of us in a room with the VR.
Yeah, and then afterwards we're gonna go get beers.
Okay.
So we don't know that those are the kind of the connections that sprout out from when they're thinking about.
You know what I think?
What?
AI already got you.
You think I'm already sold?
I think that I think Eddie Trevino's gone. You've taken over.
No, I don't have. I just, for the thing is, like, I'm. It's like, I could sit here and go on a diatribe on how it's gonna end us. The same way.
But you're always looking at it positive.
But I'm because
you got to keep it positive.
Yeah, real life is bad.
You literally would be the comedian when the Titanic was going down. You'd be by the violinist still playing the music.
I'd be at the bar going, when I said I wanted extra ice, this is what I wasn't talking about. Yeah.
He said, go down with the ship.
Charlie's Holmes.
How do you think I got on this boat in the first place?
I swear to this bitch. Oh, man. Fucking Eddie, we can find you where? When are you performing again?
August 5th. I will be at Yosemite Falls Cafe, Nurses Night Out. We were going to have Daniel Betts from Chicago, Greg G. Williams, the headliner.
What time do they start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
I'll send you a
yes.
I'll send you guys. I'd love for you guys to go to the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can we heckle you?
Huh? You can't. You know what? Only
I'll ask AI.
How about you just have AI? Yeah. Email me the jokes. But you guys should definitely come. Bring your girlfriend.
Absolutely.
Both of them. Bring them. You can. Yeah. You can. Yeah. No. The real one. The real one and the AI one. The AI one. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a good show. It's you should definitely show up.
Absolutely. Nice. Omar's coming too.
Omar's gonna.
Where can they find any of your comedy?
So I please Eddie Trevino comedy at Instagram, and
podcast coming soon.
And I'm hopefully I would love first of all, I love, as this, speaking of developing formats, talking some serious issues and the just a good conversation.
I feel like you could do a lot of topics and issues like you're saying and turn it into, I mean, this is what we're doing.
Right.
And you're
it's a real conversation.
So I'm relevant. It's still relevant.
So
to,
this is like my kind of vibe. I think, I like the tribe here. So,
Yeah,
I mean, and it's not just because you're follically challenged.
Oh, I am not follically challenged. I have great eyebrows, sir. Look at these things. I groom them myself.
I don't know. We make this a thing. I think somehow the shape of our head should be somewhere in the logo.
It's the globe, sir. We're sitting on
right.
it. Yeah.
This guy has a beautiful head of hair.
Shout out to Renaissance
Media Collective.
Renaissance
Media Collective,
website
bringing podcasts.
Renaissance Media.
Bring me your podcast. Bring me your ideas.
Okay,
if you guys have a project. We're starting him off right now.
There we go. We already signed him.
Oh,
we already have him on a retainer
I guarantee
agreement.
you on a
welcome to Death Row. No,
yeah.
Yo, wow, you're part of the family, sir.
Hey, Shook.
They had me over a balcony, but it was a Sanger balcony, so it was only 10 feet off the ground. That only AI has a full beard and full hair.
Look at this. This is what real humans look like. This is what a real person looks like. That's what AI is over there.
This is a product of divorce. You're divorced.